This is Ishak and welcome to Freelance with Ishak. In this tutorial, we are going to look at how you can create a multi-vendor marketplace with Wix and Wix code or COVID code or Velo code by Wix. This is the current name. Formerly, it is known. It used to be Wix code. Then they changed the name to Velo code, and now it is. Then they changed the name to COVID code, and now it is Velo by Wix. So the name of the code we are going to be using is going to be Velo by Wix. But then before we get started, I'd like to let you know that we already have a design we are going to be using for our project. So this is going to be the design. This is going to be the design, or what we are going to be designing, and it's going to be based on a weekly basis. So every week we will come up with a new with a design of a page or a new progress. Then we will design and code it. But then this being our first episode, we are going to just design the homepage, and then in the future you look at how you can connect everything from databases, from how you can write code for the ratings, and how to add to favorite, custom checkout, custom cart, or custom shopping box, and so much more. If you are a new designer or you are new to Wix and you want to learn how to use Wix efficiently and build a career out of it, this should be your go-to tutorials, because we are going to be building this from scratch or from ground up, and it's going to be very beginner friendly. So as a start, make sure you have an email address, because we are going to create an account. You go to wix.com and click on the get started to create an account. Make sure you have an email address, because they might ask you to verify your email address. Our email address that we're going to be using for this project is going to be arewaict.ict.ng@gmail.com. We'll just be asked to confirm your email address before providing a strong password. You need a strong password. Make sure that you never share your password with anyone. And then you click on sign up. Once you don't have an account already created with the email address you are using, you should be taken to this page. I like to save my information to avoid any issue in the future. Now, this says they want to we want your Wix experience to be perfect for your needs. Answer a few questions to help us get to know you better. This is not necessary, so we just have to click on the skip and do that later. They have two kind of editors. They have the ADI editor and they have the Wix editor. With the ADI editor, it's more like it's more like what I like to call an advanced AI that just asks you a few questions and then use the answers you provide to build or to auto-generate a nice looking website for you that you can easily just customize. Or the editor allows you to choose a template and design it by yourself. They have very great and nice templates, no doubt about that, but then we are not going to use any of these templates today, because we have our own design from Figma that we would be using. Now we just head over to the blank template and select the very first one, which says start from scratch. Now you can view this, or you can go ahead and just say edit, and in our case we are just going to go and say edit. Once we click on the edit button, it is going to open a new tab that will load the Wix editor for you in a few minutes. It shouldn't take longer than a minute or two. Moving forward, I'm just gonna switch on the dev mode so that I wouldn't have to switch it on in the future. And this is where you can write all your Velo codes. It's a very sophisticated, easy to use, and smart tool developed by Wix, and that makes me really love the Wix platform. Right. So first off, we don't want this thing, so just go and click on the add. It will minimize everything, and click out. Now the first thing we're going to do is we have to design our header. Our header is going to be 40, 80, and 40. Now the 80 plus 40 is going to give us 120. Just select 120 size of the header, and we would want the header to kind of vanish or probably stick sticked once people or once a user scrolls. Right, so let's go back to 80 because we don't want it to be too big. Then we will bring in a strip. So you go and find strip, and should be I like to use the black one since my background is white, so that I will see what I'm doing. So we have our strip here. This strip is going to be 40, and then I will take the I'm designing this strip first. I'm gonna take the green color. So you take the hex code. Sorry if I'm going too fast. I want to make sure that you get everything. Do write in the comment below in case you are not happy with how I'm going, so that in the subsequent episodes we can make things better for you. Okay, so I just changed or replaced the colors panel with my main primary color, which is a green color, and this is right here, the second one. All right, and then my header is going to be white. Just to confirm, I need to make sure that it is white background. So let's select any of these ones, and yeah, I like to go with this one, the second one. Then there's a transparency in it. Let's switch it off to 100, and the center also to 100. You can leave it to 0%. Once the background is 100, it will overtake the center background as well. So everything here looks okay. Now we are going to import our items. So everything we're going to be using, from the images, images to the scalable vector graphics, SVGs, to the product images, the font, anything we're going to be using that we have used here in Figma, we are just going to import it. We have uploaded all our files now into the storage. Now moving forward, the next thing we are going to add from our files is going to be the icon, the store icon, this little store icon. So we have it somewhere. We have it here. It's an SVG. If you don't have an SVG of this, you can go to flaticon.com. I'll add a link in the description. It's not necessarily that everything must look pixel perfect, 100% accurate. No, the smallest the closest look we can get, okay, the closest lookalike we can get, that would be all okay. We are more concerned about the functionality of the website and the look at the moment. We will try our best to get as close as possible. In this design, I use one font. The main reason why you'd want to use not more than 2 to 3 fonts, in my case, I'm using one font. The main reason why you wouldn't want to use more than 2 to 3 is that the more fonts there are in your website, the slower it will take for the website to load, first of all. And then if the font you have, different font has different size or a download size, okay? And then if your font size is really large, it could make your site load very slow because the browser has to download it before it can fully load your website. I like to use fonts that are already available in most browsers or in most computers or in most mobile phones. In my case, I am going with Arial. You can use other fonts. There is Poppins, there are Open Sans, there are To Hammer, Times New Roman, Helvetica. All these are great fonts. They look really good and simple, and you can use any of these fonts in your design. Okay, so we will take this a little bit down to 22, and this looks just as perfect as we want it to. When you place item that you want it to be at the center, you select this one, and the alignment align to middle. This is aligned to center. You want it to align to the middle. So we will just reverse this and leave it at the middle. Okay, so this looks absolutely okay. Next thing we are going to design is going to be a drop down where people can select the categories, and then the input field where people can search, and then the search button. So this is going to be a custom product search field. One of the main reasons why I switched on the dev mode now was earlier was just to enable this input field for the start, and then as we move forward, you realize how we use this input this dev mode to also write some codes. I'm going to custom design this drop down. Okay, this has to be white, and then I'll select the gray color, and then I want this to be 1 pixel, and I will change the color into the second one, and then I want it to be 3 pixels round, but not all angles. So I have to break this chain so that the other sides can be 0 pixels. No shadow needed. I want the placeholder to be the same with the border, and then the input should be black. The font would be Arial as well, and then the size would be that of 14 is okay. Okay, now when a user hovers over this item, we don't want this color, we want it to be white. We don't want to use plenty colors in our website. We want to have not more than 3 colors. Okay, so this has to also go back to 1, but we want it to be a little bit darker when a user hovers over it. On focus, we want it to be as same as on hover and 1 pixels, so this is okay. Now we will change the layouts, and the placeholder padding will be back to 10, and then we will change the place. We will change this from required, and then the placeholder will be categories. Okay, categories. This looks just as perfect, and then we will have this at 40. See, 40 is good. So 40, and then we have this at 120. Looking bad. 130, looking okay. Definitely when you select some of the categories, it could cut out, and we wouldn't want it to expand, so we wouldn't allow it to. So I'll just leave it as this. Now we are going to design the input field where users can type in the specific products they are looking for. Some users can just select category and search everything in that category. That is also okay. And some users can decide to search for a specific product. That would also be okay. We will all do all these things with COVID. But to speed up my work, I like to design first. I wouldn't do the corners here. I like to design first. After designing, then I'll come and write code for all the features that I want on the website. That makes my work move a little bit faster. So in this case, I'm not going to waste time writing code because I want you to understand everything perfectly. I want to understand everything perfectly, because if I am to design or write code as a beginner, you might not be able to get what I'm trying to teach you. But then let's design first. And this is apart from teaching you how to design, I'm also teaching you some of the best practices, okay, that we professional web designers and developers use and that make us stand out. So we need to build up the discipline, or you have to discipline yourself to design first. After designing, then you write your code. Okay, now I will change the placeholder into shopping for. Okay, I think that what we have. I'm shopping for. Okay, this is okay. I don't want it to be required because I want to give users the chance to decide whether they want to search for a specific item or not. This also be 230 is okay. All right, now we will create a button. Always learn to save your work. Even though auto save is on, it's important you learn to save your work. Let's call it Arewa Store before we move forward. Okay, this looks good. Now we will go back to buttons and bring in this button and customize it. So you click on the design, go to customize design, and then from the backgrounds, we want our button to have a green background, our accent color, and then we don't want any border, no okay, we will lock it and make a corner of 3, just like we did from the left side. So this is going to be the right side of our search. Okay, no shadows, no layout, only text only. We can do text and icon, but we want it to be only text only. Let's do text and icon. Let's do text and icon just to be a little bit creative. Then the padding between the word and the icon is just going to be 10. I think 10 should be okay. Yeah, 10 is okay. This is all not necessary. Now our text is going to be Arial as well. We want to maintain a consistent font. because we want our website to load pretty fast. And then the font size is going to be 13. Okay, 13. Our icon size is also okay. Icon size at 10 is okay. It's going to be white. You move to the hover. When the user hovers on the website, you go back to the button. We want it to be darker green. We don't want any borders, no corners remain, no shadows. Layout is okay. Our text color should remain white, and our icon color should remain white. So then we want it to increase up to 13. All right, let's try. Let's leave it as 10. We don't want to do something too fancy, anything too fancy. Now let's change the text into search. Let's change our icon. You should get it at the top here. Okay, and then you say choose file. You realize that our file is now here, and it looks a little bit tiny. I'm going to update the size of my icon into 13. Yeah, this looks better. And then I'll update this also into 13. So this looks a little bit better. Now let's change this to 100. Okay, let's do 100 and 120, and let's see how this is going to look like. Okay, I think this is looking okay. Do like how it is, but the size, I think 100 is okay. So that's it, our search. Let's try something. Let's do with the border. Let's do a 1 pixel border match with the border of okay, 1 pixel. All right, so I think we have it. We do have it now. But then I want to do a little bit of tweak. So in the borders, I will break it, and this size will be 0 so that I wouldn't see any border within the search box. And I'll break here too, the size will be 0. And then we wouldn't see any border within the search box. It's going to be just around the button. So as usual, we are going to save our work. Now we will create add to favorite in the cart section. Okay, so we start with the add to favorite. So to find this SVGs, you go to decorate and the vector art. Just select any option and go to view vector arts. Wix have its own. You can just search for hats. I don't like the hat I use in Figma. I like this kind of hats. I'll just select this one. I will go with the size of 25 in width. So just set 25. It will give you 23 corresponding size. Okay, so you place it here, and I will try to make sure that it's at the very center. Okay, so we have this and this. I'm gonna group these elements, and I will make them to be at the center of our header. Perfect. Now this one, yep, this one should be at the middle, and then the color of it should be, I think I'm okay with the black. I'm okay with the black. I think I'm beginning to, okay, I'm okay with the black. Now we are going to create a notification icon. It's also going to be a vector form. In a vector form, this notification icon would be used to notify users when they have any item in their carts or in their favorite. It's also going to be vector. I'm going to lock the proportion. But then our icon is going to be the accent color, which is going to be the green. This will save as a notification icon. When a user sees this over the hat, they would know that they have something in their favorite list. Okay, so the size of 10 looks good. we will find a suitable place so I think this is okay. Now we are going to group this. So you see, it looks different from what we have in Figma, but this also does not look bad. But then let's make it a little bit transparent at 90, just like we did in Figma, so that you can see the back, you see the base within it. Now we are just going to duplicate this for the cards, and we will make sure it is aligned. And then you click again so that you can select the hearts. And now we are going to change it into a cards. Let's see if Wix have a cards. Fantastic. Wix have a card. I don't like the card I use here, so I'll look for a card within the Wix SVG media directory, and I should find something something suitable that I can use. I think I'll go with this or this. I'll select this. I'll make it black in color because the color of a notification is green. Because the card has legs, rounded legs, I'm going to do a little bit of tweak here. Instead, I'll put the notifications at the bottom, the top of the items. Okay, this is good. This is good. This is good. And then y-axis of 27. Let's do 27 and see. And then let's push it outside, match with what we have. Okay, so I think this is better, just to compensate for the card's bias. Okay, this is good for me. I think I will settle for this. And then this color looks not black exactly, is not black, so I'll just go and make it black. Excellent. Now we are going to create our user section. So once again, I'm just going to select this, duplicate it, and then bring it around here for the user profile section. The heart was looking quite bigger. I'm just tweaking the design so that it could look natural. 30 and 30. Okay, now we gonna break distance. Let's break distance as well, because I want the distribution between these three to be equal. So this is distribution, and then you have different kind of distribution, but we are going to use horizontal distribution, and this distribute everything, the spacing between each to be equally. Now we will replace, excuse me, we're gonna look for a user with a user icon. Wix doesn't have a good user icon. We go to flat icon because the user icon I'm having is not also good. I want a filled user icon. I don't want the outlined user icon. Okay, I think I'll find something I can use. I'll go with this. Okay, this looks good. Let's download it. After download, we need to give this guy some credits. So when you use their items, to try to give them some credits, because they are giving you all of these things for free. Now our user SVG is being uploaded. Let's add to page, and then it will replace this. But then it looks a little bit taller than the rest of this, than the rest. We're gonna change this. I think this is at 19. This is at 19. in height, so we're gonna change this back to 19. Okay, back to 19. I want to make sure that my distribution is to equal. Yeah, my distribution is equal. And then the profile color, we will change the profile to green. And nope, we will maintain it as black. And then we will have our login button and the registration button. When a user logs in, the login button is going to change into profile. Registration button is going to change into logout. So if you are interested in learning how you can do all of that, keep following the tutorial. Okay, so log in. Let's go and design it. White. We don't want any borders. We want our text to be Arial. Don't forget that, because you want your website to load very fast. Text size of buttons, remember we are maintaining 13. And no icon. When you hover at it, we want to ensure that no borders are enabled. Text color is not looking black. We want it to be turned into green. So let's make this one left align and then squeeze it in. So this is the login. Duplicate it to create a register. Let's have to make sure that these two buttons are well placed, and I'll call this one register. And then you can see the rest of the text is being cut out. Let's do expand the size to fix that problem. I'll make it a height of 15. Compensate for the gene that has been cut. 15, okay. And then I'll just group the two. When I take it to the header, I might ungroup it, but there's a reason why I'm grouping this, because we want our website to be mobile friendly. Okay, mobile friendly, so that's why I'm grouping it, so that when I start designing the mobile version of the website, I'll be able I'll find it easier. Okay, I do not like how the user profile is looking small now. Let's increase the size, since this will be the standout section. Let's group this and group this. We're gonna move this back x 720. We create a space between the two. We're gonna move this back 220. Okay, now this stands out, this stands out, this stands out, and this stands out. Perfect. Now you have your header designed, but I want the space in between here and here to look natural, if I might use that word. Somehow better. Let's close the two together. Yeah, almost there. Okay, this is okay. I do like it how it is now. All right, so the next thing we are going to design now is going to be this subheader. We want this main header to be fixed. When a user to freeze, when a user starts scrolling, the main header would freeze, but then the second header would vanish. Now we are going to bring in another icon, which is going to be like a second menu, but this menu is going to be for the categories as well, just like the drop down. This is the menu. We already have it. If you don't have this, just go to flaticon.com, look for this to search for mobile menu or hamburger menu icon, and you should have a lot of options to choose from. Okay, let's change the color of our menu into white. The menu looks too big, therefore I'm going to take this 25 down to 22. Too big still at 20. Yeah, I think 20 is looking okay. Let's put it in the middle. Now, next icon we are going to create is going to be the all categories icon. I'll just take this, I'll just duplicate this and place it here. Now we need to redesign it because the background is white, so I need to make a background of 0 transparency. Change the text color to white, and then when a user hovers over it, I want to change the text color from green to darker green, so white to darker green. So we're gonna say all categories. These all categories? Yeah, all categories. All categories, but the size is looking big. We have to take this down to about 11. Yeah, I think 11 looks just as we want it. Moving forward, we are going to learn to design these promotional strips, these 2 promotional strips. To do that, just go to add, find interactives, boxed slideshows, into the left other side. Now let's bring this down more. Okay, let's bring this down also. All right, this looks good. Now we are just going to duplicate this slide into 4 slides, but then we don't have to change the content until in the future when we start promoting stores. That's when we can do those changes. Now this is how it's going to look like. You can change the animation. You can see you can come from here, you can do crossfading and so on. I do like to do crossfading. And let's see again. Okay, so this is crossfading, it's okay. Now just duplicate what you have here. Reduce this size, bring it in, and change this. Also, just drag it and drop it here. This is going to save you time. Drag it and drop it. and then just make sure it fits with the edge. Okay, this looks good. Now in our second promotional banner, it's not going to be changeable, it's going to stick. So we're going to it's going to show only one main promotion, so we're going to have to turn off all the slide buttons. Now we are going to replace this image with another image for the promotion. So this is the image we are using for the second promotion. So changing it, let's go and reset image so that you can get the dimension correct. So now we have our dimensions correctly. Just stretch this. Hey, this looks good. Now we have the hero section or the promotional section designed. Next we are going to design the deals of the day section. Now you can put them inside sections. Okay, so we are going to underline under the creative. You get themed line or themed lines. Just take any of this and design it if you have to. Your item and then rotate it to 180 so that it could face the other side. Okay, this is it. Your store is already coming to life. Next we are going to create is the category section. It says top categories per month of the month. We're just going to select this without this item, group it, then duplicate and bring it down. Find the reasonable spots. Then this is about effects, but take it down a little bit. Okay, ungroup it, ungroup this as well. Let's leave them grouped because when we are designing the mobile version, these items could give us a problem. We will call this one subcategories of the month. Now we have the top category of the month. We are going to now create these sections. So we're gonna do make use of repeaters again. That wasn't just anything. I just wanted to have enough space to increase this page size. We're going to make use of repeaters to create our top categories. Okay, this is more visible. It's not a rounded border. That one. So let's go back. And off the corners, 0, and off the shadow completely. This looks perfect. I'm going to duplicate this into 6. And there you go. You would know, we would learn how we can connect all of these categories into a database for top categories of the month, and how you can use COVID code to be automatically updating those top categories of the month database. How you can use the Velo code to also be updating this top deal or today's deals. What are some of the logics you can write to determine week's jobs, and all of these stuffs are all possible with the Velo code or Velo by Wix, and they're all possible within the Wix platform. Next, we are going to create this additional promotional banner. So this promotional banner, I'm going to take this interactive, copy it, then I'm going to paste it here. This one says shop now because this one is a product we're promoting. So shop now. We want to maintain consistency in how we do the naming, or what we write in our buttons. It's going to be sentence locked, and the size is going to back to 110 by 100. Okay, looks good. You can do more, or you can even do better. You just have to be creative. Let's see if we can add a border. Okay, we can add a border. Perfect. Okay, let's bring the border now. And now we have something that matches our design with the border. Next, we're going to create consumer electronics section. This plus this group plus this. Let's see. Consumer not as a switch plus this. So you're going to group everything together so that we can easily move them around. Copy and paste. Now this is how to easily duplicate items on Wix. Now we just have to group these items so that we can easily duplicate it into 3 times. Now click on the duplicate button, drag and drop until you have it looking you have it placed where you want it to. Duplicate again, you just need 3. Next episode, we could look at how to create the sign up and the login page, sign up as a user or sign up as a merchant or store owner, and many other things. Just keep in mind, we are doing most of the designs first. Excuse me. We are doing most of the designs first, and then we would be writing most of the codes after the design is done. Go ahead and publish your site if you want, and this is how it's going to look live on the live. You see, so today's deals or categories, today's deals, electronics, clothing, everything. With categories, you get to choose your categories here. Get to write, click on search. You have your favorite, you have your checkout, you have the login register, user profile section here. You go to shoppers here. And that's it. You have everything that you need. Everything is looking exactly how we wanted it to look like. Okay, so that's it. That's good. Okay, now we realize that the first hero strip, we would be designing mobile version after everything is done. So mobile version is going to be the last thing we will do after the entire project. After the design and the coding, we would be doing a complete optimization or cleanup exercise to make the website look mobile friendly, and mostly we might just have to design just one page with you on mobile, and then we will leave you to design the rest of the page on your own if you are following this project or you are building a similar project with us. Thank you so much once again. This is Ishak from freelancewithishak.com or Arewa ICT YouTube channel. Do subscribe to our channel, click on the notification bell so that you can be notified as soon as we drop new episodes in this series of how to design or how to build a multi-vendor marketplace with Wix and Velo Code by Wix. Thank you once again.